R8OSLC did Britani Bateman's ex-husband demand. Age drama has been unraveling for Britani Bateman as she handles her divorce proceedings. She used to be married to John Scott Underwood, but they've since called it quits. Britani's a familiar face to reality TV lovers since she stars on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Her divorce from John might have been finalized last year in October, but certain details of their toxic marriage are barely coming to the surface now. According to Britani, married life was extremely rocky for a while before they decided to go their own separate ways. Here's what we know. Britani Bateman made some serious claims against John Scott Underwood, based on a statement obtained by Daily Mail. It seems Britani truly went through the ringer while she was married to John. The ex-couple was legally wed for 6.5 years, but during that time, things were pretty difficult for Britani behind closed doors. She described John as being very controlling and abusive. Apparently, John wanted the final say when it came to Britani's perfume, makeup, clothing, and other beauty products. He wanted power over Britani's appearance whether she was in his presence or out somewhere without him. Britani claims he dictated which nail polish colors she was allowed to wear and how many days per week she worked out at the gym. Financial control was happening as well, because Britani claims she had to tell John about every dollar she would spend. Britani's social life was impacted just as much. She says he manipulated her social schedule to control who she spent time with, including her own children and other family members. According to Britani, she wasn't allowed to make direct eye contact with other men in public. She wasn't allowed to look through any of John's personal belongings, including his phone, his drawers, or his safe. And when it came to social media usage, she had to be the first person to comment on all of his posts as quickly as possible. John Scott Underwood's response. John isn't ready to admit to any of the accusations against him. Randy S. Kest is John's attorney. He released a statement in defense of John saying, "One of the most disturbing details of all comes down to Britani and John's sex life. She says she was expected to submit to sexual intercourse on demand, sometimes several times a day, and prohibited her from ever complaining about it." Britani's claims against John are alarming, to say the least. Salt Lake City may be covered in snow, but the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, RHOSLC, always bring the heat. And this time, it's a scandal that has fans gasping. Britani Bateman, the newest housewife making waves in the Bravo universe, is facing shocking allegations that could shake her pristine reputation to the core. The controversy? Claims that her ex-husband allegedly demanded sex, igniting a firestorm of speculation, debate, and downright disbelief. A picture-perfect persona cracks. Britani Bateman burst onto the RHOSLC scene with the image of a polished, put-together woman who seemed to have it all: beauty, brains, and a life that screamed perfection. However, as with any housewife who steps into the Bravo spotlight, the cracks in the facade don't take long to appear. The latest whispers in Salt Lake City allege that Britani's marriage wasn't the picturesque fairy tale she once portrayed. Instead, sources claim that behind closed doors, she was subjected to unwanted demands from her former husband, whose identity remains a point of curiosity among fans. If the accusations hold any truth, it's a scandal that could easily rival the most jaw-dropping storylines in Housewives history. The explosive allegations. Rumors of Britani's marital woes first surfaced in online Bravo fan groups, where self-proclaimed tea spillers hinted that her marriage was far from ideal. Then came the bombshell claims that her ex-husband allegedly exerted control over her, reportedly expecting her to fulfill certain obligations, ones that went beyond a traditional partnership. Insiders claim that Britani was subjected to relentless pressure to meet his physical needs, creating a toxic dynamic that eventually led to their split. Some say she kept quiet to maintain appearances, while others argue she feared repercussions. Either way, it appears the veil has been lifted, and RHOSLC fans are now scrutinizing every detail of Britani's past. How did this news get out? A Reddit thread initially sparked the conversation, with one user alleging that they had inside knowledge of Britani's divorce. She didn't leave just because of irreconcilable differences, the post read. There was a pattern of coercion in that marriage, and Britani finally said enough is enough. Bravo fan pages quickly picked up on the post, and within hours, social media was buzzing with speculation. Some followers were quick to sympathize with Britani, while others questioned whether the rumors were exaggerated for the sake of drama. Either way, the floodgates had been opened. Britani's response, or lack thereof. As the controversy gained traction, all eyes turned to Britani for a response. Would she address the claims head-on, or would she attempt to let the storm pass? For now, Britani has remained tight-lipped, opting to share cryptic Instagram posts that hint at turmoil but stop short of confirming anything. One post featured a black-and-white photo of a woman gazing out a rainy window, captioned, "Some storms are best weathered in silence." Fans were quick to dissect the meaning, with some believing it was a subtle acknowledgement of the allegations. Still, the silence is deafening, and many speculate that a statement, or even an exclusive Bravo interview, could be on the horizon. After all, RHOSLC thrives on confrontation, and Britani won't be able to avoid the topic forever. How the other housewives are reacting. Britani's castmates are no strangers to scandal, and while some have remained neutral, others haven't hesitated to share their thoughts. Lisa Barlow, never one to hold back, reportedly told a close source, "If Britani has something to say, she should say it. She's in the public eye now. If she wants to be a housewife, she better be ready to address the rumors." Heather Gay, who has openly discussed her own struggles with relationships and personal freedom, is said to be more supportive. No woman should ever feel like she's trapped in a marriage like that, an insider claims she told producers. Meanwhile, Meredith Marks has been uncharacteristically quiet, leading some to believe she's waiting to see how things play out before taking a side. What's next for Britani? If Britani chooses to address the allegations, she has several options. She could issue a statement denying the claims, share her truth in a heartfelt interview, or even use the upcoming RHOSLC reunion to tell her side of the story. Given Bravo's track record, it's safe to assume that Andy Cohen won't let this one slide under the radar. There's also the question of how this revelation will affect her future on the show. If she stays silent, she risks letting the narrative be shaped without her input. If she speaks out, she could gain support from fans who appreciate her honesty. But she also runs the risk of backlash, especially if her ex-husband decides to fire back with his own version of events. The bigger conversation. Beyond the immediate drama, Britani's situation highlights a larger issue, one that goes beyond reality TV. The conversation about consent, coercion, and marital dynamics is one that affects countless women, regardless of their social status. If Britani's story is true, she's not just another housewife caught up in scandal. She's someone who endured an unhealthy marriage and is now facing public scrutiny for it. Will RHOSLC be the platform where she finds her voice, or will this controversy become another unsolved mystery in the Bravo universe? One thing's for sure, Salt Lake City isn't cooling down anytime soon. As fans continue to speculate, one thing remains certain. Britani Bateman's RHOSLC journey has only just begun, and this scandal is just the tip of the iceberg. Buckle up, Bravo fans. It's going to be a wild ride.